And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray.
We're mathing.
Arguing behind the scenes as we begin our show today. Odie is here. He's bright and green. Good morning to everybody. Right now, 74. We'll head for a high of 90 with a possibility of 80% chance of rain showers.
Don't say nothing, Greg.
That's 20 that it ain't.
Being Mr. Positive over there.
That's right. Yeah.
We see our special guest, Julia, has made it back all the way from Chicago. No,
well,
actually, Milwaukee.
Both.
You went
That's
to
a heck of a lithium battery she's got.
Well, yeah, I gotta stop off and check on my broom.
Everything good in Chicago?
It actually was a lovely. We had a lovely time.
Is it the Windy City? Did you go between some buildings?
Yeah, it was windy.
She had some broom straw on her.
You're taking up the whole camera this morning. I have my voice is bad too. I apologize.
Did you sing somewhere?
I did not.
Rumor has.
It wasn't at the baseball.
No, I
the
did
home
not.
run derby.
But that's about what I sound like. So it's for the best.
Lots to talk about this morning as we'll recap the RNC, the Republican National Convention. Julia was there. She'll give us her rundown and take of what she saw. And lots of things going on. Let's start with a few things that have gone on in Meridian over the last 24 hours. Let's see here. Let's start here. Let's go to Philadelphia. We've got somebody wanted by the Neshoba County Sheriff's Department. Terrence Artis Ely is wanted there. He's 29 years old. Felony indictment, burglary of a dwelling. If you happen to see him, they'd love to. Eric Clark would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
They take things kind of serious up there.
Crime Stoppers. That comes with a reward.
A big deal here as Meridian Police Department has recovered another stolen car. And again, I cannot put a number on this because there's so many that happen in Meridian of stolen cars. But they did recover a stolen car yesterday. It was over at Cedar Bend, which would be Highway 80 West. As you're going out west of town, headed toward the stockyards. It was recovered there.
Is that the car?
No, that was a popo on the scene.
I was just asking.
No, this is not Jackson.
That's what I was just
going to
say.
actually steal police cars.
I don't understand. Like you say, we have more and more stolen vehicles. I thought, and a lot of you technology gurus can chime in on it, I thought it was harder and harder to steal a vehicle nowadays. I mean,
But some companies are getting in trouble and getting sued, didn't like Kia or somebody, one of them, that because it's really easy to break into.
There's one of them that is easy to get into.
Wow.
And I mean, criminals. Think about some of them.
They go
are
to school
smart,
for
but
that.
a lot of them are really
that.
smart, and they figure. That you change the technology, they figure out a different.
the
way.
old days they used a screwdriver and they had hot water. I mean, I can't.
You had to work at it.
60 seconds.
And
When you get paid to sit on your porch and look at how to break in stuff for a living, you can get real good at it.
Now, and in a lot of these cases, accidentally people leave their keys in their cars.
That's
also.
true, too.
That's a big player into it. But technology is changing, and they are also changing with, they make tools now that can scan a code of a car that works. And
You can get that off Temu.
who's that?
Just keep going,
Yeah,
guys.
that's cheap Amazon.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
You never heard of Temu? You ever heard of Wish.com?
Nope.
It's like real cheap. You don't need to know.
The only time I order anything would either be Amazon or either on eBay. I don't go past those two because they'll give you your money back if something's suspicious.
Okay.
I like to walk in and touch what I'm getting and
I'm
look
with you.
at it.
You got arrested for that.
Well, sometimes things happen.
They do.
I just don't trust this mail order stuff. I'm sorry.
And it is easier. Like a pair of shoes, you can't really tell what it is. Buy local if you
What
can.
if they send you 1 8 and 1 10? I mean, there you are.
You're stuck with it.
Let her drink her coffee before you say something like that.
We've had an armed robbery in Meridian. Matter of fact, it's two, Greg. We'll be reporting
Had
the
two
second
arms.
one here in a little bit. We have all of the information, and I'll tell you what I know about the new one. This would happen this weekend, not far from where y'all's office is, up where, right past Fire Station Number 1. This would be on 1400 block of 26th Avenue. Supposedly, at this point, we had 4 males kick in a door and rob someone there. They would escape in a blue, older Toyota sedan, and last seen crossing the intersection there at 24th, headed east past Walgreens was the last time they were spotted.
What'd they steal?
Money, whatever they could. I didn't get a list of the items, but it happened. They had guns.
There's got to be more to this than we know. 'Cause
Probably
I don't think
so.
you randomly kick a
Well, they,
door in unless you know what's
They took
behind it.
they took their shirts off and wrapped them around their head and used those as masks when they did it. I am not joking. That did happen. That was
So they were not prepared, possibly.
right. They didn't bring their
They
stockings.
came
in.
up with this idea last minute.
On the fly.
Now, also
Yeah.
last night, and again we'll report this in just a little bit. I hadn't had time. We got all the I didn't get all the details into the last minute. We had a robbery last night, armed robbery in the parking lot of Hobby Lobby. This would happen. This was after hours.
They're closed on Sundays.
They were closed, and apparently Hobby Lobby is the new place that teenagers go in. The old days of 8th Street.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
For real.
For real, that's what I'm being told. They were hanging out there, and they were approached by someone with a gun. A guy was robbed, and they pretty much cleaned out his vehicle of what he had. Took off running. One person was detained, and it's looking like that person is not the person who did it. But one person was detained. We don't believe it was that person.
So Hobby Lobby parking lot is the
New hangout. Didn't know that.
The new college park.
See, I thought they were at Broadmoor.
Hadn't seen anybody there.
Last I heard, and this was years ago when the kids was hanging out, was North Hills.
Yeah, I mean, it was Sonic,
That was
and then
10,
I think
15
it
years
moved
ago.
down to Broadmoor. But
Now it's switched
Well,
over
now
to the
they-
back in Newton County, it was Sonic and Piggly
Well, it
Wiggly.
was Sonic, McDonald's, and College Park here back in the day.
they can go in and get a wood burning kit or something if they get bored.
Yes, can and do something. But if y'all will notice
Constructive hanging out.
but if you'll notice all the reports from time to time of people doing donuts in the parking lot of the mall up there, it's real close, and all of that kind of goes hand in hand. They'll go up, do some donuts, come back down, hang out.
Okay.
I figure those little front wheel drive electric cars they're all driving ain't that much fun for donuts, you know.
Every now and then somebody stumbles along with a Hellcat or a Mustang accidentally.
Nobody's got Grandpa's big block out of the shed.
That's right.
They rented that Hellcat for the week.
Greg, what they actually do is you take motor oil, and if you'll remember this back in the day, the people that had the little 4-cylinders, they'd take motor oil and pour on the back tires and make it look as though they were doing something.
Huh.
Pull the emergency brake up and it
Boys.
slides around. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of
Boys
like
and their
somebody
mating
must have
calls.
stole half his lift kit.
There you go. They're low.
Yeah, that. I thought we outlawed
it
that.
is.
Well, it
It's
went into
a-
effect July, but they're gonna give warnings.
You get a
until
grace period to
January.
go get it fixed.
Because I met a truck
You gotta save
yesterday
up.
that looked
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
German Shepherd trying to poop a peach seed.
There you go.
know, them things is bad.
That's what happened. It will be January 1st before they start getting tickets. Julie, anything you want to say? You have that look.
Why do we let him on this show?
Because he sets the bar low. Low.
Coming up, we'll get some information of what went on at the RNC. It all happened this past weekend as we got prepared for it. Julia went; she was there. What went on behind the scenes, and of course, we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Joe Biden is out. All of that's up and
Have
coming
you
here.
told him yet?
He doesn't know.
With purple skateboards.
They used his stamp, Joe. It's official.
Working on a big project? Need reliable equipment? Paris Tractor has you covered. From skid steers to excavators, tractors to trenchers, we have top quality equipment for rent on a project-to-project basis. All our equipment is expertly maintained for peak performance, ensuring you get the job done right. Our team is here to help you choose the perfect machinery for your needs with flexible rental terms to fit any project.com to rent your equipment today. Come see us at Paris Tractor, where we're more than a tractor store.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Looking for a great place to eat? Well, come explore the great flavors of the French Quarter in downtown Enterprise. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic night out, a family dinner, or a cozy atmosphere with great service that make dining with the French Quarter an unforgettable experience. Drop by today and taste our delicious dishes. Come explore the flavors of the French Quarter. 120 West Bridge Street, downtown Enterprise. Call 601-659-0500. The French Quarter.
Put film.
Hey, here we
Welcome
are.
back as we begin this Monday morning.
Got to charge the battery.
Scotty Ray and Odie, as we begin this, we do hope you're having a wonderful day. So glad so many of you are up and joining us today. There's a lot that we haven't discussed yet when it comes to what's going on in Meridian. We've got all of that up and coming today. Right now, we switch our gears to talk about the RNC, what went on at the Republican National Convention. Julia was there. As a matter of fact, Odie joined her as she landed, and we didn't know this, and I thought we'd share the picture of them arriving there. You brought gifts for Rudy Giuliani.
I did. Something from Mississippi.
What is this?
I mean, I thought y'all made a great picture together. Did he eat the watermelon there or take it back later?
No, we only got through half of it.
That's so funny. No, as soon as we landed, that's one of the really cool things about the RNC is that everybody's there, and so Tyler's really good at spotting people and knowing who they are. But you really do see like all the people from all the news networks, and but got off the plane and they're Rudy's had some financial issues, so he was staying in the baggage claim with me. The domestic flights.
So how is he in person? Is he a nice fella? How do you give him on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, we didn't talk
They
about
didn't swap
policy.
recipes.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
we
a
didn't talk about
cardboard
policy
cutout,
or
was it?
anything. But no, he was very nice. I just said, Mr. Mayor, I'd love to have a picture with you, and he was very friendly and said hello and all that kind of stuff. But this was before he had a little tumble. I don't know if y'all saw that video, but it was difficult to walk
No,
on that
I missed
floor.
it. He failed?
Yeah, there's a video circulating where the chairs, there's a platform built up that you walk along, but there's a significant dip where you step down to where the chairs are on the floor. And I guess he'd gone to a press box and had an interview because there weren't people on the floor in the video, but somebody caught him and he fell into the chairs and his staff.
Our own little
people helped
Joe.
him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll go a lot of different
You
directions.
got to tell
with
the
that
news,
one.
both sides, Scotty Ray.
You do.
So that happened, but that's how we started out. But it was a wonderful week. We have a great Mississippi delegation, and we're all up there. We sit together, and we have a lot of events outside of the convention together. And we just really have a great group of elected officials, and it was a great weekend. Or
and that's
great week. That's our full. I think we're missing one or two there, but so that's going to be your delegates. We have 40 delegates for the state of Mississippi, and then I don't remember exactly how many alternate delegates we get, and then guests.
Is that Lynn Finch down on the end there in
Lynn
the blue?
Finch is there at the end.
And that's what's his face, the Commissioner of Agriculture on the end,
Yes.
right? He just hadn't got his
Where's
hat
his
on.
head on?
Andy Gibson.
Gibson.
Yeah, Andy Gibson's there. You got Trent Kelly as North Congressman. We got Guest.
This hand
Michael
right here
Guest.
almost looks like she's wearing a Statue of Liberty.
That's really funny. Former Congressman Greg Harper. You got Shad White. You got Tate Reeves.
Who's that beside you in the blue?
She's leaning to figure it out.
I don't know.
There's Delbert right there.
Yeah, Lieutenant Governor, Treasurer David McRae there on the end. So it is a really good group. And some of these people, well, we're all Republicans, obviously, but they work together on different things, and we're not always on the same side. But during this week, it's a lot of unity. And
come together.
So that's one of probably the highlights for me is you really get to spend a lot of time with them, and we have a good time.
How close were you to this guy in this picture here? As we look at this, how close were you?
So Tyler took that picture, I think, without any zoom on. Mississippi was right in front of, I think it was Idaho was behind. Yeah, Idaho was behind us, and Hawaii was in front of us. So his box, I mean, it's probably 50 feet that Tyler sat, which I was not a delegate, he was. So I got on the floor a few times just because we can pass this off to each other to do that. But he sat down there, I mean, and he was right in front of them.
Wow.
Our Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith has a pretty good relationship with Donald Trump. They speak regularly. And so one night he was sitting beside Cindy, and President Trump was, trying to get her to come up, and she was like, no, because, she's a real sweet, humble person. But it's
Tyler
really
didn't say,
interesting.
well, I will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he would have.
So, out of the big events, let's just ask this, did you get a chance to go backstage and meet Hulk? I mean, Hulk
No.
ripped his shirt off, done the whole thing.
Gosh, no, I did not. I didn't know Hulk was coming until that day. That was an interesting choice. For me, and when he came out, I was, whatever.
Do you know who it was?
Yeah, I did. They weren't targeting my demographic.
Nor was the Kid Rock thing. I think Kid Rock
See,
is
I
a
like
great
it. I
singer,
know,
but
I like
I
it.
just really didn't
I
get
liked
anything
it.
that he did.
Yeah, no,
Did you?
it was.
Did you?
I watched very, very little.
It was rap.
It
I
does a
watched
lot for
all
my blood pressure does a lot better if I don't watch very much.
Well, if you
anything
read
that
this
was
Democrat
politics.
down here, that'd make you go crazy on how.
But yeah, if you're going to have a party to build yourself up or whatever, that's probably two that probably wouldn't have made the guest list with me. But
And that is all that it really. There are technical things that are done at the Republican National Convention. There's rules changes, and there's the voting and the calling the roll and all that stuff. But it really is a big hype party, and so it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. It is long days.
Do you feel that everyone walked away united after this? 'Cause you remember the first time Donald was elected, it was not unity in our country at all. They fought him on within the same party.
Right.
JD started out as a never Trumper.
He did.
Well, in 2016, we were in Cleveland, and so that was Donald Trump's first nomination. And so this was, I would say that the energy was much different. There were people that were not as excited about Trump, I feel like, as they are within the party today. And Tyler and I, we've talked about it a lot. I mean, it really is the party of Trump right now is what the Republican Party is.
Party of America.
And there is a lot of unity. It definitely felt like you can pick on my brother, or I can pick on my brother or sister, but you can't.
Yeah.
It's sort of the vibe that the Republicans have right now.
That was pretty neat. You'd sent me, and I haven't loaded it, of the presidential motorcade of former President Trump coming down the street there in Milwaukee. I don't care. I remember stopping at a red light here on Highway 39 when Mike Pence passed through. Yeah. It is just truly here in Mississippi something to see, of the motorcade, of somebody from the Oval Office even passing through. It's neat.
The security was insane. I think that they put out an all call.
A little late, but
But it's like they put out an all call if you have a badge to get to Milwaukee. I mean, I saw Coast Guard and TSA, and there's obviously a lot of elected officials in one place at one time, so many of them have their own details. So you'd see, Texas State Police and everything else. Everybody was there. I didn't know who they were going to blame it on if something bad happened, but they definitely had a huge perimeter. You could, you weren't getting lots of walking. Like there weren't vehicles getting anywhere close to the convention center. It's high security, and we went a couple of times to the hotel that Trump was staying in because it was 1 block from us. They had all the windows blacked out up top and stuff, but we had to go through a full, if your vehicle went in there, it had to have like the bomb checks and all that kind of stuff, obviously. But we had to go through full security to go into the hotel to an event we were attending there.
I heard you got trapped in a bathroom.
I did. It's really interesting because they had the hallways.
They ain't got bathrooms up there?
Why are you like this? Just let me report. I'm terrible at it already.
You're doing excellent.
Anyways, they had these curtains in the hallways, and so they would move him, bring him down the elevator, and then move him out another door, but they closed the curtains. So I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, they had the curtains closed up because they were about to move him, and they were like, "Whoa, you're not supposed to be back here." And I was like,
our Secret Service.
What was that? Let's make a deal. Curtain
So
number one.
I breached.
Well, what was the walkway sloped going into the bathroom? They didn't want to check it.
I don't know. I don't know.
That was that Pepsi security.
They do such a fine job. As we see things are now changing, and I think everyone knew this, and I do not believe that this was sporadic or at the moment. I think this was all along planned that he would be out of the race by the time it happened. Your opinion, what are you hearing from the people that were there? Do you really think Kamala is the choice, or does it just appear to be that at this point?
I mean, it does appear that established Democrats are saying it, but Obama stopped short of endorsing her. I think that the timing of all of this, is very, very interesting, and it's about to be an interesting couple of weeks because they're about to have a convention, and I think what I'm watching for right now is whether Democrats allow this to happen and that she's just the heir apparent, because they all voted. You know, there were primaries in states, and they marked something. And I think that you'll hear some of them say, if Harris would have been on the ticket, we wouldn't have voted for her. But now she's going to be our nominee through no choice of our own. It's almost a little, lacks democracy.
Kennedy. He went independent.
Yeah, well, he'll still be on the general election, so that's still an option. But what I'm saying is this is really taking away the choice from the voter. And all of it timed up to the convention where this is unprecedented. 1968 is the last time that a president that could have gotten a nomination, again, is not accepting it. And the last time that happened, there was a Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and it didn't go well. So there's history can repeat itself, and this is feeling a little like I can see the party saying, no, we're not going to accept her as the nominee. You also have to think of the reason that he stepped aside was because donors said we're out, and you can't run a campaign without the money. Yeah. And they said that because he can't win, and then you start analyzing whether or not she can. So the Democrats have a lot of soul searching to do.
She was the first person that was out when she ran for president. The very first person that didn't get enough votes, she was out. So can it happen?
Yeah, they didn't support her then. It's kind of like Rodney says Greg's feeling left out.
Well, that's because he's a Democrat.
He doesn't pay attention to politics.
Because it doesn't matter.
He knows who he's voting for. That's it.
It does not matter who counts the votes is what matters. And I mean, come on. I hate to say it, but
at least you're not playing ignorance like some of these.
I feel ran over. I feel deflated. After the last election, that hurt me. I'm sorry, and I'm not one of these big conspiracy nuts.
Right.
But I still think Trump won 3 years ago, and we got cheated out of it. What's going to stop them this time?
Well, if you go watch that show, the documentary, The Mule, have you seen it with Depeche? What's it? Oh my gosh.
I hadn't heard of that one.
The proof that has come out with all these fake votes and everything else, and they've got it recorded.
Look out, he'll argue with you with it right now.
It's crazy.
Well, they said the biggest problem right now in the Democratic Party was they'd already pre-printed 100 million votes with Biden's name on it. and now they got to go back and white all that out. And a lot of them don't know how to spell Kamala.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian. For hometown pride.
Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun & Pawn.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the back porch.
Hey, it's us
And
again.
welcome back. As we begin this morning, we did have some gunfire, some gunplay over the weekend. We would start out early Friday with gunshots near Highland Park where a car was shot. Now, no injuries were reported with this, but we did have a car shot there, right there at Highland Park. It stopped. It was shot at 45th. And if you'll know where you pull directly in where United Fence is, it stopped there, and police would arrive there in that curve to take the full report with that. As later on we would find out that afternoon, well, it got a little bit worse as we get into what went on. We would arrive at Frank Berry Courts Friday afternoon, and this is just how bad things are. Let me change some pictures here. Police on scene here. If you'll notice this car that's right up here, it's a white Buick. I stayed back out of the way while they done their investigation. There's the car right there. A guy was working on that car, minding his own business. Cars would pass by on the street over, shooting at each other. His car was hit 3 times, and he was shot in the ankle as he worked on his car.
Wow.
That's horrible.
It is.
I mean, that's what we were talking about here a couple of days ago. You know, people say, well, they know each other. It's gangs shooting at each other. If they want to shoot each other, go get out here somewhere in a field and y'all have at it where there's not any innocent bystanders.
That's right.
You got a guy working on his car, minding his own business, and took one in the ankle.
Now, it gets worse, Greg. The same thing would happen late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Yet again, another innocent bystander. Let me pull this up and show you what happened here. Bystander, he was actually driving a car. This is where it would happen right here. Here's 16th Street. This is 8th Avenue. The Wesley house is right here. He would be traveling down this road. And I'm not going to show it because it was sent to me for other reasons, but I actually have a video of the shooting. The man's driving down the road and you hear pop, 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 pop. It was cars shooting at another, and he gets hit right here.
Oh, man.
And he wrecks his car and runs into a fence.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's going to be okay. So, miraculously. Is that a word? I don't use that often.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't spell it, but I'm pretty sure that's a word.
Well, you pronounce it anyway.
That's
Huh?
a tough one.
Well, what I don't understand, have they ever considered practicing?
I don't think they do, Greg.
I mean, go somewhere and learn to hit what you're shooting at, so you're not wasting ammo to start
They
with.
do. But this right here, at this street, this would happen right along here. Here's the street. Right down here is Wesley House. It would happen around in there. And it was not like one ting. It was multiple gunshots. This man is fortunate to be alive.
You've got to be serious when it comes to you finding out who did this. And you're not just getting charged with shooting into a dwelling or shooting at a car. You need to turn around, and if there was 10 people around in that area, and by God, you get 10 counts of attempted murder, you get 10 counts.
Somebody would talk.
You've got to
That's right.
make this stick
Now,
and make it harsh.
let me tell you about the next problem Meridian, Mississippi has, and this is a big problem. I hadn't even written the article on this yet, and I will later today, of the car burglaries that we're having. It is getting to a point to where no one is going to stop in Meridian, Mississippi. Here is one from an apartment complex. Every weekend, y'all, the hotels on I-20 cars are broken into. This is not random. It is every single weekend we have cars that the windows are busted out and everything's stolen out of them.
And I'm not a detective, but I bet if we would start checking maybe bicycles and folks with backpacks on.
There you go.
You mean the one that's got a wagon behind his bicycle that he's been seen?
Come on, but
away?
again, all these tree-hugging, animal-kissing folks, until you leave, knock them flopping, it's going to continue to happen.
We got to have to where there's police that come in, either police or we got private security at these, to where you just know you can't do it. So things travel, news travels fast of people that are in the Meridian area that stop here that do business. Eventually, they're going to keep going to Tuscaloosa.
Well, you got people who
And
actually
we don't
shop
want that.
on Yelp. They go to Yelp and say, hey, we're going through Meridian. Let me pull up Yelp and see what y'all don't have a clue. and they look on Yelp and it says, "Hey, here's a review. My car's got broke into. My car's got broke into. My car's got broke into."
What's he yelping
Just
about?
say okay.
I have no idea.
Yelp is a website
try to
where
explain it to them.
you go on and it gives you reviews from people who have stayed there.
So this is kind of like call your cousin. 'Cause, I mean,
Scotty-
that's what we
Yeah.
used to do.
Scotty Ray doesn't leave Lauderdale County.
Hey,
He's
neither
been
one of
everywhere he's
these-
going.
I don't know. Y'all need to get out from under that rock.
I've used Waze. It tells me when there's police up ahead.
That's how you get from one direction to another.
Good morning. It's already 7:30. More on the way as we travel along. We do hope your day is treating you well. We'll be right back. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 6 more. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Just $41 a month for this new Brother embroidery machine. Buy it local and get instructions for life, service, financing, the lowest price guaranteed, and take it home today at the Sewing and Vacuum Center in Meridian and So Select in Flowood and Hattiesburg.
Rockhouse Gun and Pound, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun and Pawn. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie and the entire gang here. And I know this looks kind of like Friday, but it really is Monday, as Greg and Julie are in the studio with us
We were
today.
just so glad that she got back into town safely that we could. I thought we was going to have a special show as soon as you landed at the airport. But, you know,
We had a greeting party, the whole thing.
I'm going on Yelp and I'm leaving Greg's fireworks a review.
I'll never see it because I don't understand.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy.
Okay.
People are going to tell you about
I always thought it was just ratings of, like on Amazon when somebody, I don't know. But I've never heard of the word Yelp. I'm learning. I'm learning.
So
learning.
what I'm getting out of this is people go on and they give their opinion of a town, a restaurant, or a business, or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're going to trust people's opinion that you've never seen or never talked to. I mean, that's like some of the comments you see on the internet.
It doesn't matter. That's what people are doing. So you've got to at least go on.
Well, if they all, my mama always said, if they all jump off the roof, you gonna jump with them.
They are. This is 2024. Look at what's going on.
I use
I
it
try
to
not
find
to.
places. Like I'm in I want a hamburger. You can put in a hamburger and it'll show you all the ones around you.
You don't
That's
have a
fair.
road atlas.
No, I don't.
I got
Rand
one.
McNally doesn't
Rand
print no
McNally,
more.
you flip that baby up, and guess what? There are no bad areas where you it's gonna cut off. You just flip to that page.
But it ain't got the hamburger joint.
Used to, what was it, State Farm, they used to hand those out? I bet they don't do that no more.
I
mean, you
still
don't
got
need-
one. I can still read a map. And it always amazes me. Homer, we have no phone service. Where are we at? Here's a thought. Read the map. Map?
Let's go back in history. It would be 1934. I'm not going to show the pictures of where they caught him today because it ended bad for him. He was one of America's very first bad boys. He would be, he was a robber. That's exactly what
John
he was.
Dillinger.
I got no clue.
Public enemy number one, John Dillinger, was shot down. If y'all remember, the FBI took him out.
Really?
Yeah, there was a big deal there. And they've got pictures. They all posed with him.
Really?
That was back when everybody had flat roofs.
Was you there?
They let you put dead bodies in newspapers. there.
Am I right? And y'all correct me that he was coming out of a movie theater and they waited on him there, and that's how they got Dillinger there.
I can't remember either.
That is
We'll go with it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Anthony. Where are you?
I'll
my
fact
history?
check.
He
I'll
was
fact
probably-
check you later.
He was probably on his phone, not paying attention, trying to yelp or something, and he got shot.
Somebody said poor guy was betrayed by a woman. Maybe she set him up. To
Imagine
get
that.
That's what happened.
Exactly. He was coming out of the movie theater. He had taken her, and she was supposed to drop the road.
You would have fell for that one. For sure.
Imagine that.
Todd Kemp says I'm right on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he got betrayed there. Same thing happened to that dirty coward that shot Mr. Ford down. Jesse James is what I'm talking about. Shot in the back. Straight in the picture. Y'all, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got it.
This guy, I couldn't watch the show. Either I wasn't smart enough or I just didn't get it. There's a lot of folks that loved it. I mean, I cannot.
Jeopardy. Alex Trebek.
I can't watch that.
I love it.
I
Jeopardy.
do too.
I can't answer with a question.
What is Scotty Ray?
It doesn't make sense to me. And then that new guy that's on there, what's his name? Do y'all know?
Oh, well, yeah, he was Mr. Smarty Pants himself. Yeah.
And then they promoted him.
He was the one that won. He's got the biggest win of.
Oh, okay.
Jeopardy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they gave him the job.
Okay.
I'm surprised Ryan Seacrest didn't get that also. He gets everything else.
Well, he's doing Wheel of Fortune.
Now, I want everybody to, I'm not going to scare you. I'm going to try, but this is very colorful, and I don't want it to catch you off guard as I show this guy's picture.
It's not Bill.
Is this reggae is what he sings?
Bob Marley?
Yeah.
You're close.
Jimi Hendrix?
You're close. He's kin to
It's
Hillary.
a hen. It's not Bill.
Y'all remember George Clinton? He was born on this day.
Good grief, what's wrong with his head?
Well, he's got a chicken up there.
It does look like a chicken.
Looks like one of them old dust mops.
It was
George Clinton.
Ken Jennings. Everybody's saying that's the
new guy
on
Okay.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I couldn't name a single song George Clinton done, but
Me either. I'm shocked. I'm
you know
honestly
him?
shocked that you don't have an album of his.
Well, I'm working on. Maybe I'll download
He's
it.
got an 8-track.
That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
Although this guy's his politics and mine don't agree. You have to give kudos when an actor is really good at what they do, and he's played many parts. Most of you will know it from hanging out with Mel Gibson as his partner in a TV show there.
Well, it was about a 4 or 5
Miami
series.
Vice.
No,
Similar.
No, 5 series movie.
They just made a new one.
Did they have a new one?
Yeah, they got a new one coming out.
They
Both of them
were-
are very old. Lethal.
Weapon. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
Danny Glover.
It's still in a Christmas movie.
No, Danny Glover, and that is not a Christmas movie.
You remember Mel? He was the cop that he goes to get the guy off the roof that is going to
jump with him.
handcuffs him and pulls him off. What happened to the good old days?
That's right.
Nowadays, they wouldn't put that in a movie for anything.
Oh, no.
You would offend somebody if you done that. This group is probably what I would call rock and roll from the 1970s. Your Lying Eyes. Y'all even know how that came about? They're sitting in a bar.
I didn't know we played trivia on Mondays.
Like Hotel California.
Eagles.
There you go. As we remember, Don Henley
Yes.
has a birthday
I didn't know
today.
what you said, though.
I said Eagles.
That's not what it's on there, though.
It is. You just can't read it really.
But do y'all remember the song "Your Lying Eyes"?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Written as they went into a bar. It was a young girl that was flirting with an older guy. And one of them goes, "Boy, look at those lying eyes over there." And they went back and sat down on a doorstep and wrote the song to that. Just amazing how something can trigger such a big hit.
And that's something no matter what type of music you like or you claim to be a fan, everybody likes the Eagles.
Yeah, they really
you know
are
what
good.
I'm saying? It don't matter.
I even remember on an episode of Heart to Heart, they had some little 13-year-old girl that had the 33 album that she was playing an Eagles song, and that stuck in my head.
California is my favorite.
Many moons ago, in my jacked up 1980 model Toyota 4-wheel drive, I had to take it to the limit across the
Oh, did you?
windshield.
Of course you did.
It had flames on the side of it too.
Randy Harrison painted it.
That's
I bet.
exactly right. I kind of turned it over upside down, and that was the end of it.
Whoops.
You turned it over, huh?
The Eagles were just all that and a bag of chips, and that would be considered country music today.
Oh yeah, man, that was good. Yeah, considering some of the crap we listen to now. Yeah.
That y'all listen
Make
to.
my speakers go boom, boom, and come on, people.
Yeah. As we look back at the Eagles, and as you brought up that song of Hotel California, the meaning behind that was basically, if I remember right, if they described it, it's California to where when you get into the music industry, you can't get out.
Check in, but they don't
Drugs.
check out.
You get into the drug scene and you can't let go of the drug scene.
But boy, what a song! Welcome
It is
to
a
the
good one.
hotel. That just so many songs that they had that were big. Maybe y'all remember the movie John Wick. Do y'all remember that?
Oh, I
Nope.
love that movie.
Did you? It was one of the Spider-Mans. He played the dad in it, but this would be the guy.
No,
John.
he played the villain. He didn't play the dad.
Okay, I thought he was a dad and then he was the villain.
These
but I know he was
questions.
the villain.
Yeah,
there.
he was.
We
the
don't like
villain.
the questions
Yeah, we were
today.
digging deep today.
His name is William Defoe, and that name may not.
you didn't know that.
That was my next guess.
What y'all discussing over there?
Nothing.
They got their own conversation over there.
Yeah, they don't like this day in
Do
history.
y'all remember this guy from John Wick who saved
Yeah.
his life?
Yeah.
I didn't know his name or anything.
I seen prettier heads on cabbage. He needs to borrow your straightener.
Work on that. Yeah. I remember this guy from Tommy Boy, mostly is what I remember. He's done a lot of parts, but he played the little weasel that had the car with the convertible. Do y'all remember that?
No.
Wasn't he the church lady too?
Where did they get this
Yes.
question?
I don't know.
He was.
I mean-
they wouldn't know
Yeah.
y'all. This is
Scotty
him.
Ray had
Y'all-
all weekend.
Look, this is
Yeah.
just, you know how we have a lot of people in this world that are animal lovers and they come along and there's a deer that's been hit.
Oh, yeah.
And they pick it up and they put it
Put
in
it
the
in the
car.
back
with
seat and he come back alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Spade was
Okay.
born on
Yeah,
this
I
day
knew
in
that.
'64.
Okay.
The
And I
church
think you're
lady.
right.
All right,
The
what
church
was-
lady was Saturday Night Live.
What he was
Yeah.
he had his own show too. What at an advertising company or something?
Yeah.
Didn't he?
I think you're right.
Was he in? I don't want to say.
I don't
Do you
remember
remember
that one.
I don't remember it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Vaguely.
Good stuff there.
No, Joe Dirt.
He was in Joe Dirt.
He
never
was
s-
Joe.
Yeah.
You never saw it? Oh, y'all got to watch Joe Dirt.
Never heard
Never
of it.
Joe
seen
Dirt got Kid Rock in it.
Only part I've ever seen is about him selling snakes and
That's Joe Dirt.
Sparklers or whatever.
Snakes and sparklers.
Just Shoot Me. That's the
Why'd y'all
David
bring up
Spade
West
show.
Virginia?
Just Shoot Me. That's the name of this show that David Spade. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
That is right.
We go back to 1982. This was when these guys were really, really becoming big. They were started out as a gospel group.
Alabama.
Greg,
You're close. You're close. Very close. Who'd you say, Julia?
Greg, he's in 1982. He started getting real big.
I was 12 years old. Thank you.
This was some bushy hair and a big beard on a couple of them.
Oak Ridge Boys.
You're right on that. The name of the song that was
Elvira.
released today, it would go on, because how many times has a woman broke your heart? Well, this was about that same instant. I wish you could have turned my head and left my heart alone.
Yep.
Boy, that was good stuff back in the Oaks when they were starting out there.
Sandy said, Greg should know the only fireworks scene of Joe Dirt.
That's right. That's right.
I have never heard of this show, Joe Dirt.
I have, but I've never watched it.
You need to watch that. Is
It
fun.
is. I mean,
Y'all
it's-
rent that and we'll do that on next Saturday night.
I'm busy.
When you think we can go to Blockbuster or something?
I still got my card.
Can't you download it off TV now? Isn't that the way to do it?
Yeah.
You hit a button on your TV and you pay for it. And they just add it
You
to your
move
bill.
the bunny ears just a little bit to the left.
Bunny ears.
Not that kind of bunny.
Terry Garr was one of the most beautiful women they had during the 80s that was in movies, if y'all remember her. I'm getting to know
Didn't do it for him, apparently.
While Daisy Duke was on
Well,
during the 80s,
of course,
that's all I could watch. I didn't want to be caught cheating on Daisy.
Exactly.
Michael Keaton was the star of this big movie, and who remembers Mr. Mom? Do y'all remember it? Debuted in theaters tonight.
That's when all that crap started happening.
Put men in the kitchen, huh?
Nip it in the bud.
Boy, that's been a long time ago. He would go on to be in The Other Guys. I think he was in a Batman. He's been in a lot of things, Michael Keaton has. This song would derive from a guy that was in a bar one night. They were playing.
No, that narrows it down.
Wow. I really.
He was part of the class of 1989, and one of his band members leaned against a jukebox, and it went flop.
Prop me up next to the
You're
jukebox.
close. He said, "Don't rock the jukebox."
Don't rock the jukebox.
As Alan Jackson would write a song about that, and it would go number one in 1991. It's again.
I'm sorry. That's what's bad is I still consider Alan Jackson new.
I know. I'm with you on
You
that.
guys.
And Alan is 65 now, y'all.
No.
Yeah,
But
64, 65.
I like his music.
I do too.
That boy's good.
I've never, and his gospel. I'm gonna tell you something. Whew, if you got hair, it'll stand up. I'm
It will.
telling you, his gospel is awesome.
And you know, he didn't do a gospel album until his mama urged him to record one for her, and so he just done a whole album.
Oh, I love that.
I've never heard anything bad that he's done, honestly.
No, he's yeah.
If you have
He's a
never
good
heard
one.
Alan Jackson's Amazing Grace, where he recorded it there at the Ryman, it literally, it's amazing. Just totally
It'll
amazing.
make your toenails grow.
It will. I like the way you put that, Greg.
I don't.
Well, he
Nineteen-
doesn't have any hair to stand up, so something's got to move.
We go back to 78. This guy passed away not long ago. I don't remember the exact year that he passed away, but it wasn't that long ago.
Okay.
He was on the Mary Tyler Moore. He started out on her show.
Dick Van Dyke.
He was bald-headed.
He was a
Bob
captain.
Newhart.
He was a captain.
What you got?
Princes.
Merle Stubing, The
Yeah.
Love Boat.
There you go. He made it to the cover of TV Guide today back in 78. That was him and Isaac were like the thing.
And Gopher.
Gopher.
And, what was the little girl's name? His daughter?
Julia?
Julie.
No, Julie was the
She was the host
the
or whatever.
cruise director.
Yeah, cruise director.
I can't remember his daughter's name.
Isaac, Gopher, Doc.
Yeah, Doc.
This is really impressive.
That was a good show. If you were anybody, you were a special guest on that show.
Yeah.
Everybody who was anybody went through there at one
The
time.
Love Boat.
Soon
like-
we'll be making another.
Kind of like what the Jimmy Rogers was. You went through it if you was wanting to
Oh
be
yeah,
famous.
anybody who was anybody was there.
It's been many a year there. This guy would get caught today. He would be arrested for the deaths of 17 people. The interesting thing was about him, the cops turned him loose. Oh, and as a police officer, you really have to have nightmares over that. A kid was reported running. He was bruised up, bleeding, and he told him where the guy was, and he goes, oh, that was a runaway. And it ended up being this bad guy here, Jeffrey Dahmer. The kid was killed almost immediately after police turned him back over to him. Oh, that just makes it makes my skin crawl.
It was. I tried to watch the documentary
I
on
can't.
that, and
It's just mean.
that was terrible. Oh man.
The prison system took care of that issue later on. He didn't make it out.
Good.
I don't think that they.
He was well received.
He was handled. This girl, her husband would run off with her best friend, so she would run off with her best friend's husband, who ran off with her. Does that make sense?
They swapped.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, you can expect that from somebody who's married to somebody named Mutt. Yeah, seriously, have you ever known anybody their name was Mutt other than a puppy?
No.
Yeah. Well, she married him, Shania Twain.
Prettiest belly button I've ever seen.
It was. You just can't touch it. She's real, stay away from me.
Oh yeah, she
Number one, Any Man of Mine. And who can't remembers that song, Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under?
I mean, I was raised on Shania Twain. Yep, I love her stuff.
She was a talented
Somewhere.
girl. She's still out there somewhere performing somewhere.
She's in Vegas.
Is she?
Yeah, and there's been some stuff because I think she's wearing similar clothing to what she would have
used-
worn at that time period too.
Oh.
Which she's looks great for her age.
I
But
always thought she batted for the other team, but I didn't know.
what made you think that? Why would you?
Well, cause she was very.
Didn't want men near her.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we would find out later that she was abused as a child, and it
Okay.
caused a little friction there to where she didn't want men around her, and that was her problem. I didn't know that when I first met her. They said you got to stand at least keep an arm length in between you and her when you take the picture with her. And I
Well,
said,
she needs to stay out of Mississippi because we huggers.
yeah, I know. That, as a matter of fact, I met her in Jackson.
We hug people we don't even like.
The mafia does that too.
Oh,
They kiss
Yeah.
'em.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. They said somewhere in that sentence too, isn't it? 1993. This guy, I call him Van Mack taught me this years ago. You were either an A artist, a B artist, or a C artist. And a C artist is somebody who he ain't gonna make it. He
One hit wonder.
Yeah. And this guy really qualifies into that. He had This Is My Story and a couple others. And today this song was released. I think I'm on a roll in Little Rock where he was selling VCRs at a Walmart.
Colin Ray, yep.
Yeah, he
Picked
just-
him up one day. He came to Meridian to perform.
Yeah.
Him and Billy Dean.
Yeah, another
You picked him
one hit.
up.
He was
had to
driving a
had
limousine,
to drive
believe it
him
or not.
somewhere. Colin Ray.
He really was C-list. I think Greg driving around.
I had some showing up at Smoking Joe Quebec. Tinsley Ellis.
Did you wear that little hat?
People. I showed, hey, for the right amount of money, I did.
For the what folks don't know, Greg used to drive a limo in Meridian, and he picked up a lot of dignitaries at the airport.
Yeah, showing up important people.
Important people.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think they've done a show together.
Mark Colley.
Even
Billy
the Man in the Moon is
Dean.
crying.
Yeah.
Tennessee Plates, he had that one. She Wants Something with a Ring to It, like a pretty white gown.
Yeah.
Then Garth would, him and Garth roomed together for a little while in Nashville, and Garth would go back and record She Wants Something with a Ring to It.
See, what'd you think? I've been to town before, just not that often.
Proud of you.
This guy was really a one-hit wonder. If It Wasn't for Her was the name that he sang. He ended up drinking himself to death, believe it or not. A career that never took off. Anybody remember Darren Norwood?
No, can't say I do.
He had that one hit, and it was over. If It Wasn't for Her was it. We'll take him off next year. He'll be gone. Nobody knows him. And we would lose this young lady from the Golden Girls today.
Oh.
It would be 2008. And she was just like everybody's grandma. Y'all remember her? As we go back to remember Estelle Getty. She passed away on this day.
She was hilarious.
Now, she was younger than B. Arthur that
Correct.
she played the mother of.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like Vicki Lawrence, who used to play
Mama.
Yeah, Mama's
Yeah.
Family. Wore the wig and the whole 9 yards. Vicki Lawrence was very, very funny. And so was this woman. She was quick.
A lot of wit.
Yeah.
She was really funny.
That's the way it was. That's a look down memory lane here of y'all done pretty good today.
We didn't even keep score.
Yeah.
I won.
Well, she did.
I
but,
won.
She wins. We don't have to keep score.
It's
she
easy.
always wins.
Keep it
So we had
simple.
a question come up about Republican National Committee. Do you know when they're going to have signs available in the Meridian, Lauderdale County area? I know that they wasn't going to print all these things with J.D. Vance on it until it was done.
So I don't know the answer to that. We do have a Republican executive committee meeting coming up next week. Next Monday. That's a good time and place to figure it out. Typically, the way that works for national is that your local party is going to be the one that's purchasing and distributing them and stuff like that. But we'll get together some stuff on how to get some signs if that's what y'all want to do, and I'll pass that along. But I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll look into that. Do y'all remember that guy? And I'm going to say that guy because I can't remember his name. I just remember the two songs in his head. A song called "If You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City," and he had a song called "Sailing."
Yeah.
This picture actually
Late
reminds
70s,
me,
early 80s.
yeah, of sailing as I think of Ricky Simmons. And you go, why am I bringing up Ricky Simmons? Because there's
they run
always
off
a
in his
wreck there in his
pond
pond.
again.
As we go here to take a look.
Man.
Off in here, and let's get a good look at this. This is it down there toward his pond, lake, whatever you want to call it there.
God,
and look
It's a
what's
steep hill,
left.
too.
There has been more accidents.
And it's
something
in a straightaway.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm going to tell you something, buddy. It rained yesterday.
That was a bunch of. We
rained.
were driving back from Birmingham. It was a gully washer.
I'm telling you. And different places, naturally got that. I would love to know how much it rained on Meridian Russell Road yesterday.
If anybody's got one of them there rain gauges, let us know.
I think it got filled up.
Yeah, you'd have to have dumped it and started
Yeah.
back over again.
I live at Clarkdale, and we got some rain, don't get me wrong. But up at Meridian Russell,
As you brought that up, let's just show the video of what went on yesterday. This would be on Charlie Dunn Road. And let's start this video here.
Oh my gosh. That's a bunch
what really scared me there is the amount of water that was crossing that road. And the guy that lived there said he'd lived there for 30 years and it had never happened. So naturally, I thought a levee had busted, a pond dam had breached or something. So, I got very concerned very quick and went all the way back up to Willow Lake and trying to check. Because, that was a lot of water, and it lasted for a long time. I was worried, scared.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Somebody in the comments asked about roll call and that why did the room go silent when they called Mississippi. I don't know what the deal was as far as what y'all could hear at home. You could hear very, very well in the convention center, and I sent y'all that. I think
we played that on air.
But the governor, Tate Reeves, I thought he did a really good job of really describing Mississippi and casting our votes. And
he
I know
hit a
he's
home
got
run.
it on his X and his Facebook, so I encourage you to go back and listen to that because there's a good recording of it. That
Home of the Magnolias, and he just went on and on describing it.
where we fry
Catfish.
everything, acknowledge that we're pretty dang good at baseball and all that kind of stuff. So it was a proud Mississippi moment. So it's worth going back to that social media and finding that audio.
It was good.
I was trying to look. I had some more pictures of that scene, Greg, there where that water come across the road, and I can't locate it quickly.
It was a lot of water, and I mean we've experienced this before. Odie and I one night we got a call water across Valley Road. Oh. Well, by the time I got cones out, it had already receded. You know, you can tell flash flooding, right. But this just kept going and kept going and kept getting deeper. And I assumed that a pond had breached, but it didn't.
I mean, look at this home.
I said, Greg, is the water level getting bigger? He said, I don't know. And I said, well, why don't you go look? He said, I ain't getting out of my truck. I said, why? He said, there's an alligator. I said, there ain't no alligator. So I got there, and I got out. We started walking through the water, and there was that alligator. We both turned around and said, yeah, it's getting pretty deep.
That was the one on Valley Road where the alligator. Wasn't the alligator yesterday? Yeah, that water.
It was on Valley Road.
No, but that water flowed through that man's yard, so it got under that asphalt. That's...
Yeah.
Yes.
Then that's an expensive fix. And, I asked Greg this, and I don't know the answer to this. Something like this, does this fall under flooding and your insurance won't cover it?
Unless
you can have flood. I mean, you can purchase flood insurance, but this is if the water is coming up, if it's coming this way, then yes, that's flooding, and it's excluded from your homeowner's policy. But you can. But banks are pretty good about. They get flood rating if you've got a mortgage, unless you're going out and buying your house.
If you live in a flood zone, they'll mandate it.
And so they'll have, it's rated based off of like 100-year possibility or 200-year possibility, and then banks will make you, and it's relatively inexpensive if you do need it, if it's not a high risk.
But that's something that most people wouldn't think of. Like that man said, he said, I've been living here 30 years. This has never happened.
So the thing is you can be in a no flood zone. You can be, you can pull up your address and say, am I in a flood zone? And the answer could be, you're not according to the reports from FEMA. But there's two outcomes. One, FEMA has been out and did a study and said, no, you weren't. Or FEMA has not come out, done a study, and you're not in one. It does not mean that you do not need flood insurance. There's a reason that you may or may not be in a flood zone. And that's happened to a lot of houses around here. They're not in a flood zone because it's never been surveyed.
Never been checked.
By FEMA.
I tell you, we had another quick story. Place had never flooded. When they first come out with the blue garbage cans.
Yeah.
Friends of ours live over at Zero. Started raining pretty bad. Garbage just been emptied, so the can was like it fit perfectly in a culvert under the road. They had never had water in their house. They got 6 inches of water in their house. I'm telling you, it was like a cork that was made for that culvert. So when we tell people the storms coming, kind of pick up, clean up, tidy up, you may want to tie your garbage can to something, because if anything ever obstructs that water flow,
it's gone.
And it happens so quick, you know. Like yesterday, I mean, I've seen it rain. We all have. It's rained a lot more than it did yesterday.
Yes,
but it was just ironic to me that it came up like it did.
More to come as we travel along this early morning here at the Scotty Ray Report.
CF Moto has arrived at Meridian Cycles. Come see us at 80 Highway 19 North or give us a call at 601-485-8700.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select AK System battery tool sets. Real steel. Find yours.
And we're back. My wife decided that she was going on vacation and left. Took everybody.
Is she coming back?
Yeah, well, my wife went on vacation with Odie, so.
So you're in the same boat I am.
We had a good time. At the
He
beach
carried
this
his
weekend.
wife, but we were batching all weekend. Me and both Cephas, we had a good weekend.
So I've been stumbling around trying to find food, and so I decided, well, I need me a club sandwich. So I stumbled down to McAllister's last night, and
It
after
was
walking
good,
in the
wasn't
door,
it?
yeah. But as you look, they had a major leak.
Oh no!
Rained inside too, huh?
Yes, it flooded there on it was takeout only, but a lot of water. This was the North Hills location there.
So Angie didn't pre-make you like a week's worth
Warm
of
up
food,
meals?
put it in some
She did,
containers?
I got to give credit where credit's. She did offer, and I said, well, I've got to figure out what to feed Mama, so I'll just get something when I feed Mama. So that's why.
Fending for yourself.
But I am taking donations for banana pudding, Sandy White.
She has promised and still. Oh, yes. Greg's got us something he hadn't brought to us
What's
yet.
he got?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I do.
What is
Greg's got our fritters.
Did you get food?
I don't know what you're talking about. They might have been blueberry, peach, and apple, but I don't know what you're talking about. But man, they were good.
You ate all of them?
No, I did not, but I had
Miss
to do
Pat's
something
Pies
with them.
hooked us up again, but gave it to the fat person, and now none of us got anything to eat.
You can ask him why she gave it to me, because I was the only one at work.
So Cephas got to enjoy a little bit there is what you're telling us.
I had to live on something. They were living it up on the beach. He carried his wife, my daughter, they all left me.
Let me show you 24th Avenue yesterday afternoon as the water was climbing here. Here's a picture of a little car trying to make it down there.
That's a little bitty thing.
Yes, sir. Here's the next picture as Lewis Recker is on scene to pick up a little blue car. It didn't make it there through the water. It kind of choked out, and they had to come pick her
It's
up.
one of those little Mini Coopers.
Yes, that's what it is, Mini Cooper. So don't cross into water sometimes. They just won't
Turn
make
around, don't drown.
Amen.
Let me show a pup that people they're wanting to know where his home is. He was found. He God bless it. This dog looks undernourished to say the least. Here, this was found on Highway 493. Is this your puppy?
I don't think it.
That's bad.
They're giving him some food there. They picked him up on the side of the road. He looks like he needs a great home.
Yeah.
We'll try to hook everybody up to somebody that can help with this dog. If you can inbox us or put in the comments there where that can be seen. He just wants to be loved like everybody else. That's what's most important there as we see that. Boy, there was a big wreck there Saturday night. Walmart, Highway 39. It was so bad that, there was no power for the red lights. Sunday morning, you got met with this stop sign. It may still be there. I'm not sure as of this morning.
PSA. Come on, people. You had to have passed some kind of written test. You might have failed this question, but that's okay. Here it is again. If you're upon an intersection with no lights, the power is out, you treat that as a four-way stop. This is common sense.
But they don't understand the four-way stop either.
Well,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
Stop. Well, that don't work neither.
Somebody really got you one day about this.
Well, I mean, it irks me
He's
because
passionate.
we have to work these wrecks. And when people do not know how to freaking drive, but yet they're out there petering on down the road, it does irk you because you're the one that has to get out and work these things.
It's a four-way stop,
Four-way
people.
stop.
If you would like some plastic parts. There's plenty still over here in the ditch here.
Oh, yeah, if I owned a record, you could just sit in Harry's parking lot and probably pay for it. We need to mention that to Harry. He might want to get him a tow truck.
Yeah, that's when the light's working, they reckon.
Harry Mayer's towing.
It would be clean and straight.
And have the best tow truck driver.
That's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Y'all check that out. That was a few of the things that happened there. Let's see what else we had. Not often does Metro get run into, but they didn't got run into. A call came out to the Meridian police. We got somebody sitting at a stop sign that is slumped over the wheel and not moving. So naturally, you call Metro because you think maybe it's a medical emergency.
Or they're drunk.
Well, that might have been the case there, as I saw handcuffs and someone being escorted to the car as we go to the Coca-Cola plant. Plenty of police there. Let's get a closer look of what's going on.
Took them a little nap.
Well, the open vodka that I happened to see there in the console.
But were they like pulled over in the middle of the road?
They just stopped at a stop sign.
Stopped at the stop sign.
Well, took a little nap.
And if you'll see it, there's the car there. It was stopped at the stop sign. Ambulance pulls up to get out to check on him, and he come to and went, woo, and put it in drive and ran into him. And then he flopped back, and then police showed up.
Goodness.
Kind of handle the situation from there. Here's a better view of what went down. There it is there.
If that's your car.
It has been towed. But he did leave in handcuffs, and of course we don't know the exact charges yet. Those charges will come out later on today, but handcuffs detained is the word we'll use for the time being there. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes. I went out to towards southeast area this weekend.
Ooh, that was a wreck. Ooh.
Yeah, it was. Look at this. As we go through here, here's the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. They arrived first and handled things, helped with traffic until MHP arrived on scene. I'm going to say that truck's totaled out. Vinville showed up to help out as well. And you'll see here, here's where the other car is going. There's the ambulance on scene. Here's what was involved in it.
Yeah, that was total too. You saw
Every
side airbags busted.
Total loss there as well. It was a family. They're okay. I want to say they were military and talking with the husband. I think they're all going to be okay, but still a scary situation when these things go down. A few things that happened there. We got more up and coming, birthdays and a few more things, and Julia's going to give us a final recap of her week in the big city, Milwaukee was, where they make tools. Yeah, we'll be right back.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie and the entire gang as we're here. Julia in the studio with us. I want to bring this up. I want to pat these guys on the back before we start talking about, in conclusion, of what went on at the Republican National Convention. A great job by the Meridian Fire Department as they showed up on scene Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon for this fire that took place at a home. Quick response, got there, saved the home, and they just go above and beyond as we look at this.
And it was some messy weather, too.
It was. Yeah. But just a thank you to know that these guys show up quick They're on time and
fast and in a hurry.
Yes, sir. They'll pass you at a stop sign and a red light before you know what happened. Julia, as this came to a wrap, how many of these have you attended?
This is my second convention. Tyler's participated in 4. 2020 was remote, obviously. But I did Cleveland in 2016 and 2024.
How do you rate the atmosphere of this convention to the previous ones that you attended? Would you say it was better?
The energy
involved?
is high. I mean, just is, because you got a lot of people that like a lot of the same stuff. But the unity part of like, we're all, we've got one real big focus, and that was they don't want a Joe Biden administration again. And so I feel like the party is more together than we probably were 8 years ago. But one thing I want to share, the most moving thing that I listened to, and I actually got to be on the floor during this, and that was when the Gold Star families came and spoke. And if you didn't watch that, I encourage you to go back. Those are the families that they lost their loved ones in Afghanistan, and them sitting up there and telling in detail of how that went and how our country treated them, and how they were not properly acknowledged, and then we go behind there and say no one died. That was very, very powerful, and I think that it's important that when somebody dies in the line of duty, and this is something that's occurred locally that I've been real passionate about, acknowledging things properly, and that's something that this administration really failed on, and my heart goes out to those families. But that's one of the speeches from the convention. They read their names, and those parents got up and described what they went through, and that's something that I think everybody needs to go back and watch and fully understand the difference in how you handle stuff like that.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
it was definitely a touching moment there.
Hey, let's put Julia on the spot for a second.
Let's do that.
Serious, which I'm seldom serious. Who do you think is going to be the Democrat? Who's going to be the Democrat ticket? If you were making a guess.
I think it's going to be Harris, because that's what the establishment wants. But I think that there's going to be a push for somebody else, because I think that Harris is probably the best option if you're a Republican.
You got any idea on a VP?
I don't. It's wide open. Yeah. I mean, Michelle Obama, they say she doesn't want to do it. That's somebody that I think could give Trump a more difficult time than
Depends
Harris
on who's
will.
counting the votes.
But then there's there's lots of names floating around right
Newsom.
now.
Wasn't it Newsom?
Yeah, Gavin Newsom.
What about this theory that a rhino could switch over Mitt Romney?
I know it's
you
too.
don't think so?
For me, I mean, there's just going to be too much turmoil within the party.
We didn't want him. They don't want him either.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That would be, which we are in unprecedented, uncharted waters at the moment.
Arnold said Mickey Mouse, but isn't it?
But
Mickey smarter than that.
the normal order of things would be Harris, but I got to take 2 steps back and say the reason they got rid of Biden is because they knew he couldn't beat Trump, and I don't think that Harris can do any better. So why put her there?
So you're saying there could be an upset here?
What does it say about the Democrat Party? One, you just allowed this guy, which everybody in America could tell he was, after 2 years, he was done. His mind was not there. You allowed him to continue on. Number one, because of what was coming up, vice president. You waited until it got so bad, and then you made a deal going, we don't think he's good enough to make it. What does that say about the Democrat Party of what they've put in front of themselves, and now they're trying to distance themselves from it? You've got Biden. We know where he's at and where he's going, which he should have gone a long time ago. He should be enjoying the rest of his life. You got a VP who has hardly ever been seen.
But that's what I'm saying is I think that's what the party should be upset about is they knew what they had months ago, but instead of putting Harris on a ticket and letting people vote for her, they circumvented the will of the people and they let him ride it out, and now that's being taken away from them, and they're just being something that they may not have voted for is going to be what their option is.
Let me say this: we're dealing with these people that are behind Biden are not dumb. They're very, very
I think
smart.
it's all calculated. I think we were better off if Biden would have stayed on the ticket.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
All of this is
we would have been
calculated.
better off.
And although it looks as though he surprisingly withdrew, no, they knew exactly when this was
Biden withdrawing is not a win for the Republicans.
No.
That was not a good thing. Because personally, I believe that Trump would have just beaten the brakes off of Biden if everything remained the same. But now we're going to have somebody different. We're going to see how that goes.
And they know exactly who it is. We may not. It may not be Harris, but this is calculated.
You say they, and that's the establishment. But I'm telling you, this convention is where they can change rules and they can do, and so they can lobby up delegate votes. So that's what's happening right now. Is
the mainstream media is behind a lot of it because they did whatever they were told to do.
That's right.
Not the truth. They pushed out
but
whatever.
As you bring up the media, we all saw it to where he was wonderful. This mistake, you didn't see that.
And it was all of a sudden it was a surprise. No, it wasn't a surprise.
That's right.
People.
Yeah. So that's where we are, and we'll be watching this over the next few days of what comes about. And we'll report it to you as legitimately as it comes out, as quickly as we can, as to what's happening there with what's happening on the Democrat side.
Watch George Soros, whatever he decides is be what's happening.
Yeah.
That's probably the truth right there.
Somebody just said, has anyone consulted Soros yet?
Exactly, because that's exactly who runs things.
There we go. Odie, you got some birthdays for us?
We do. Let's see. Carrie Smith had a birthday yesterday. Ann Vick had a birthday yesterday. Nancy Clark had a birthday Saturday. Jeff Lewis.
Is Jeff having
He
a birthday?
had a birthday Saturday as well. Tyler Walker, happy birthday. Keena Compton's having a birthday. Peggy Duncan, 82 years young. Van Cummings is 32 years young, and I believe Peggy is Van's grandmother. And Lisa Wilson is having a birthday today. So, happy birthday to everybody. And we're going to hit this here. Lord, I didn't cut the volume down again. What we got here?
I'm deaf.
Peggy Duncan, 82 years young.
Miss Peggy,
and,
she's a school teacher at Northeast.
Look at there. Winner of the Hyundai of Meridian Scotty Ray Report. And I got to say, a special one goes out to Ann Vick's birthday yesterday. That's my mother-in-law. So happy birthday, Mom. And Mom.
Greg, when do you leave for the Democrat National Convention?
Right after the day something freezes over.
As I look at a few headlines here, a Brazilian singer was on stage, and a girl comes up.
A Brazilian.
Brazilian
That's Brazil.
singer.
Somebody lives in Brazil.
Oh,
He was up there playing his guitar.
I thought it was one of them garments.
He's playing his guitar, and this girl comes up and she wants to have a picture made with him. And he says, sure. And he puts his arm around her. She's wet. He's electrocuted and killed instantly. I kid you not. In Indianapolis over the weekend.
Well, that goes back to that old song, State of Shock.
It was. It was shock.
That's too soon.
As we look at Indianapolis, and we all see these road rage things happen. This should set an example of what goes on. In Indianapolis, guy was in his pickup truck. He was driving a Chevy, and this guy jumps out of his little bitty car and runs up with a gun, threatens him. He will no longer threaten anyone again.
I saw that.
Knocked him flopping, didn't he?
He did. It was over, just like that. He's not going to be charged. It was self-defense.
Yeah.
If you had more of this, it would stop people.
Yeah, people jump out.
Stop.
The guy, and there's video of it, of the guy just jumping out, holding the gun on him, and the guy in the truck. He
took care of business.
He did. Over and gone.
And it wouldn't take but 3 or 4 of these, and they would quit.
And it may truly have a impact, especially in Indianapolis, of those that are close around that area. Well, that kind of wraps up what we've got. Julia, we can't thank you enough for coming in and reporting live from what went on.
I'm glad you're back safely, that you landed safely, and you didn't break a heel when you landed. And we're just glad for you to be back. Thank you for that.
I have to ask, how many times were you searched over the last week?
I mean, I went through a lot of security checkpoints between
any extra
planes,
cameras,
trains,
or did they just
automobiles.
wand you?
No, I mean, It was like, well, you can't have anything on you. You know, yeah, everything's clear bags and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you got a 16-foot step ladder, you know.
A couple of them got a little fresh.
They went to some refresher courses in the last couple of weeks.
Are you calling me big, Greg?
No, I'm just saying in the last couple of weeks, you know, that if you got a ladder.
I got you.
Trying to get into the convention.
Yeah. But she did say that her husband was in the roofing business, is why she was wanting to get on top of the building. You know.
That's it.
Thank you for coming in, Greg. Thanks for being here as well. Odie, I'm going to let you take us out, as we do need a good word there from the good Lord above. What do you got for us today?
We're going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 2. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart at his left. Yea, also when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him, and he said to everyone that he is a fool. Whew. Put the Lord to your heart and walk by his way and what he's told us to walk by. And he's written the rules down, and he's written what we should do and how we should do it. It's all right there. It hadn't changed in 2,000 years. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow. Are y'all laughing at the word of God over here?
I was looking at the thing. Julia is the prettiest thing since Elizabeth Montgomery to fly in on her broom.
Ain't you special?
Look, we just said the word of God here.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be back in about 23 hours.
I will
Until
not.
then, have a wonderful
I will
day.
not be back.
We love you all.
Y'all have a blessed day.
See you Friday.
The Preserve at Meridian.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.